welcome back to Faded Truth. Thank you for being here. Thank you for subscribing and supporting the grind. I'm so excited to have a tech guru here, responsible for major success in mixtape streaming and app building, the founder of Perfect Distro, and the CEO of the Stugo app,
yes,
Mr. John Nichols.
How you doing? Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Feeling good, feeling great. We're here in Vegas. Been here for a few days, so you know, my boy Javi over here has been my tour guide for the last few days.
Shout out to Javi.
But
cheers.
Cheers.
Shout out to Zero Time Off and DJ Amaze over there. We're back in the studio, and I appreciate you being here.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you having me. You know, it's always good to get the word out with everything that we're doing in music and stuff like that. And people like you are very important in that field, so I appreciate you for having me here.
Feel a little important. Shout out to today, April 12th, season 4 just dropped. Okay, so we filming for season 4 as we speak, so I'm excited for y'all to be a part of it.
Okay.
And so you said you're from Florida?
Yeah, Miami, Florida. Okay. Born and raised. I lived there for majority of my life. I took about 2.5 years off to move to Atlanta and explore there, you know, start some of my businesses there. I actually opened a recording studio. I didn't open it, but I partnered with a recording studio there called Gravity House Studios. Okay. So that's one of the first studios that I've ever got into. Okay.
And is that studio on the app?
Yeah, it's on Stugo. It's on Stugo.
I had a feeling.
Yeah, it definitely was one of the first studios on there, listed on there. Obviously, you know, a lot of the app building part came from a lot of the experience and knowledge that I gained through owning that studio.
Okay.
So
I love Miami. Shout out to Miami, because I was about to move there 6 times since I moved to Vegas. I'm like, I need to go back to the beach.
Yeah.
I just miss the culture.
How often do you go over there? How often?
Not often. Not often enough. Only if I'm catching a cruise out the port or something. But
so then that means you get there, go to the port, go enjoy yourself, come back and get on the plane again. Yeah, nah, you got to come out there and enjoy it. Like, there's so much to do. So many different walks of life, so many, you know, different types of food to try.
Yeah, that's what I miss the most. Because I'm Jersey, so like I came to Vegas, you brought me in the desert. I got nowhere to jump in an ocean. I got no fucking empanadas nowhere. Like, no one knows what the fuck I'm talking about with my slang, you know? Yeah.
What's your favorite empanada?
Just a beef empanada.
Yeah?
Yeah, some beef and cheese.
I like the ham and cheese, spinach. Depending on where you get it from, though. Hey. When you lived in Miami so long and you've
that's what they have at the airport. They be having the spinach empanadas, and the beef one was better. But that's what I get from the airport every time. That's like, and that might be the best food I've eaten since anything. And I'm like, damn, I miss just being able to get this all the time. You know, that's like culture food. You know, like it's food that you can only get when you're a part of a culture or you know about that culture. So. Where's your family from?
My mother's from Ohio. My father's from Mexico. Okay. But growing up, I really didn't have a relationship with my father, so I don't really know too much of that side of my family.
Is your mom Latin as well?
No, she's from Ohio, straight white lady.
Okay, gotcha. So my dad's Spanish and black, and my mom's white.
Okay.
So my dad's from Nicaragua.
Oh,
but do you speak Spanish?
Yeah,
oh,
definitely,
nice.
definitely.
Okay, good. So I've been learning. I went to Mexico last year for the first time to Cabo, and I was like, I just loved the culture. I was like, this feels so different than Dominican Republic. This feels different than Honduras. Like, it felt just like good. Like, the people want to help you. Yeah, there's a little kidnap happy, but you know, like, in all
I know they was looking at you like,
cool
she about 250,000.
Let me stay on this resort site. Yeah, because I'd be exploring. So, I went there, and then I went to Cancun this past year, and so I've been learning because I'm like, I didn't really have a relationship with my dad for a while after he got deported. Okay. And
that's unfortunate. So
I just didn't like think to learn, and then I'm like, why the fuck I need to learn this shit? Like, I need to know my culture. I need to be able to communicate with people and cuss them out if I need to in Spanish now.
Or know if they're talking shit about you. When
right? Why I gotta do? You know, I'm like, now I gotta know how to respond.
Yeah. So you know, when I was growing up though, I didn't know too much Spanish. Not until probably I was about 11 years old is when I started to take interest in Spanish. And I said, man, my mom, she's a white lady from Ohio. And this lady talks to, my dad's Mexican, My brother's dad is Mexican. My sister's dad is Mexican. You know, she loves Spanish dudes. You know, excuse me, but I was like, damn, if she could speak Spanish and she's full white, I'm actually of Spanish descent.
Oh, so your mom was
I should know how to speak Spanish and have a conversation with, you know.
Right.
And so overhearing the conversation was one of my mom's friends, and they did something that changed my life forever, which was buy me a Spanish dictionary. And advice, you know, if you want to learn, you know, get in the dictionary, because as I started to read it and learn it, I realized that it's all about sounding the word out, just like it is the word casa. Casa. Can you spell it?
C-A-S-A.
It's exactly how you say it, you know. So Spanish is really like that. You know, how the word sounds is exactly how it's spelled. Right. So it becomes a lot easier once you get into a book that's full of Spanish words, and then obviously you start doing things that revolve around Spanish, like maybe watch a show in English and then watch it in Spanish. Yeah. No, watch it in Spanish. Like watch it in Spanish. Don't. The more you try to connect to the English side, you're going to stray away from the Spanish. Right. So you got to like just full blown.
Yeah, because I feel like I'm not going to like get fluent until I just go down there for a couple weeks and just sit there and someone just speak to me constantly. Right. Because I don't have enough people around me. Like,
I ain't going to say no weeks now.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely going to take you a while to learn Spanish.
Hey, you know, I've learned pretty quick, okay? So it's funny though, because my mom, she didn't know shit of Spanish, and she only dated Latin men her whole life, and she met her husband now on Latin Singles Connection.
Okay.
Shout out to your mom and Carlos.
Them boys gonna learn some English. They gonna want them a English speaking lady.
Okay, so were you always into music, or like what was your first like creative passion you think in life?
I always give that credit to my sister. I do have an older sister. Shout out to my sister Susie. She really kept us in the culture of hip hop without, I didn't even know what it was. Like I just always heard my sister listening to like Tupac, or you know, like some Biggie, or even like the female artists like Aaliyah, you know, Missy Elliott, stuff like that. I'm 32.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I'm 33. We're right there.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you know, I felt like she was my biggest influence, because you know, I see how she gravitated to the music, and I said, man, this you know, I kind of like this, you know, this. And then growing up, you know, I was in a very bad neighborhood, and it was all hip hop. You know what I mean? A lot of African Americans. We were the only Spanish family. It was like me and my brother and my sister, and like two other brothers. We were only Spanish. They were Puerto Rican, we were Mexican. And so, you know, that's pretty much all I knew growing up was just the hip hop music. Never did it cross my mind that I'd be working in it and then have such an impact like I've had. So it's definitely crazy. So the creativeness of being in the business came later on, like 2011, 2012, where we created a mixtape app that at the time was one of the only streaming platforms.
Okay, just making sure.
Yep.
Scare myself sometimes.
Oh, you weren't recording?
It just scares me sometimes still. I'm jaded from the first fucking year of technology learning.
Oh, let them pass.
I called it.
Are we live? We back on? Okay, I'm just making sure.
Yeah, and while we're at it, I want you to try my blunt. Here, let's switch.
Yeah, let's swap it up.
Okay, so this is,
what you got there?
I think that's Durban Gushers.
Okay.
It's like Durban Poison and Gushers mix.
Yeah.
Do you smoke or you don't smoke? So here and there. But yeah, this is like...
That's Boba Lotto.
Okay,
So
cheers.
like cheers.
Boba Lotto.
Is this hemp? Fire.
I'll put it back in.
Monte Carlo. Yeah, I don't do Kush because I don't do no indigus.
Really?
No.
That's fine.
Because I like to be up and going.
In the couch.
In the couch. I don't like to be in the couch. I like to be like, you know, I like to be up, but my strain on me.
Miami style or what?
Nah, definitely not.
Have you looking like Scarface in here?
This strain I have, it's like AM lime. It's like apricot mimosa lime. It's got like a shit ton of limonene, and it's just a great sativa. But the strain I'm making is like it's got some myrcene in it, so you can like balance out. Because I know everyone likes, most people like indica.
Yeah.
There's only like, maybe some girls that like sativa.
Yeah. But hey, I'm not gonna lie. I gotta. Since we're on the topic, I gotta take this time to speak about a few people within the culture of cannabis. And I say the culture of cannabis because it gets really deep. But shout out to the homie Bruce. Shout out to the homie Reno. They have been very educational in the cannabis world for me, and kind of educated me on stuff like what you're talking about.
Oh, nice. Shout out to them.
Yeah, yes. For sure. They grow their own flowers. They got their own products. I was going to bring them, but we smoked them. But yeah, they have a company called Got Dank and Terp Lord. And you'll find them in a lot of the dispensaries in California.
Nice. See, that's what I'm trying to do. I need to get my shit in the dispensary because it's being grown in California.
Those are the guys. Yeah. I'll literally connect you guys, and they'll help you get your stuff on the shelves in there. That's what they do.
Some good flour.
Oh yeah, and I'm excited to try it. So a lot of these products that I do bring and carry around me are my friends. This is what they do. I
like the Bobolato.
Yeah, that's the one that gave you the short-term memory for a second.
I'm telling you, after that one acid trip, I felt like I never was the same.
Oh shit!
That's when I started doing that
shit disconnected a fuse in there.
Yeah. That shit took like 6 months out of me. I felt just very slow. Wow. Yeah, because I never did. That was before I even tried shrooms. Okay. And my friends from Jersey came, and they brought acid. I was like watching like Netflix, how to have a bad trip, or how to have a good trip. I was freaking out because I'm like, bitch, we don't do this shit. Like, I don't fucking do this shit.
I smoke weed.
Yeah. So I took a tab and I didn't feel shit. Then I took another tab and I felt shit.
Yeah, that's crazy. Hey.
And I was like going to work and I was driving on the 215. I'm going like 40. The mountains is moving. I'm still tweaking it. Like 10 hours later.
The mountains were moving.
They told me it was going to be like a mile. They're like, yeah, it'll be like 4 hours. You could go to bed. 12 hours later, I'm like,
oh shit.
Yeah, it was crazy. So shout out to mushrooms for bringing my brain back.
Changing my life.
Mushrooms and weed, plant medicine. Yeah, I'm good. I don't need no chemicals.
For sure. Tastes great. But yeah, going into it, so the app was based around just streaming hip hop only. There was no other.
Just the music.
Just the hip hop music. So you're talking like every artist from Chicago, from Dirt, G Herbo, Reese, Bibby, Chief Keef, Montana 300, 600 Breezy, even to the more independent artists. I mean, all of them were independent at the time. None of them had like no major deals. Well, Chief Keef did. Chief Keef had a major deal, but everybody else for the most part was still independent. But yeah, so, and then also, even going back to like the Gangsta Grills, DJ Drama, Lil Wayne projects, stuff like that. But yeah, so when we started to do that, where my leverage came in music was we had this platform, right? Nobody really understood it yet because the phones were, the app world was just being created. So a lot of people would be like, an app? Oh, what the hell? This is crazy. And we knew there was a need for it because when the app was released on the App Store, it got over 1,000 downloads in the first week. So, that type of response is like, okay, yeah, you got something, and it's organic. There's no advertising behind it.
Right.
But yeah, so we just started touching different cities like Atlanta, the Carolinas, Alabama, obviously Miami, and we started to connect with artists. If you rapped, we wanted to know who you were. you know. We were not a record label. We were not a distribution company. We were none of that. We were just an app that can put your music on a platform that already had a good amount of users. So as we started to grow, you know, we started to explore options of, you know, advertising the company, get it more exposure and stuff like that. And that's what ended up happening. And then because we had such a niche, like, we started to team up with artists and do exclusive releases. So from Meek to Wayne, French, there's just so many. Dirk, all the guys from Atlanta, Lucci, Doug, Future, everybody. You know, it's been an amazing journey. But you know, we've done a lot of exclusive releases for all of them, and then once we got into that kind of just blew us out the water, because you could say in a sense it became really notable. Like, okay, this,
yeah, like you're putting people
everybody's on. Fucking with it because they're really going somewhere when they get on this app.
Right.
Yeah, and then so it turned into more of like a business at a certain point. And that's kind of when I felt like, you know what, like, I think I need to just fall back a little, you know?
Yeah, because I was going to say, like, where'd you see it go wrong? When it just, like, the energy kind of changed of what was going on, where after so long, is it like...
I think we just went from this, like, dope independent company that was really putting on for independent artists to trying to be something we weren't. And that was like a media TMZ vibe, you know?
Right, and you weren't fucking with it.
No,
right.
Not fucking with it whatsoever. But there was a reason for it, you know? Obviously, when we worked with these artists, in most cases, it's a situation where it's like, hey, I'm gonna pay you to promote my product, right? And then, you know, that's the relationship we have. Me personally, those weren't the type of relationships that I was creating. I was creating more of a like, yo, you in the studio, I'm gonna come pull up on you, we're gonna hang out, we're gonna record some amazing records. If you let me bring in producers, you know, we were creating, you know? So it became more of like friendships than business, you know? And so what started happening was when the company started to transition, there may have been something said on the internet that was like really fucked up, you know, that Dirk didn't want, or that Herb didn't want, you know. And then when you come around, it's like, oh no, he can't come in here, or, you know, they don't want to fuck with you, or it's smoke. You know what I mean? Like, yo, these guys ain't playing. Like, right. You know, you're touching topics that are sensitive to them. And so they take it serious. You know, it's not a joke to them. And so for me, you know, seeing that shift, and then obviously the shift in everybody's energy, like, oh, nah, my mixtapes, nah, they,
right.
You know.
So you're like, fuck it, I already know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm going to take it over here. I know what I'm giving. I know what my intent is. And
I mean, yes and no.
On a new project.
Like yes and no, because, you know, I'm a very loyal person. I don't really, like, if I rock with you, I rock with you. You know what I mean? No matter what you do. If you wash cars and I rock with you, I ain't going to get my car washed nowhere else but with you, you know? So loyal to the fact that, like, you know, if you can't wash my car for a month, then I ain't gonna get a car wash for a month.
You're like, this shit gonna be dirty as
yeah,
hell.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna go, it is what it is. But yeah, so, you know, I felt like it put me in a position where I was very unsure of what I was gonna do, you know, because
Were you questioning loyalty?
Definitely.
And that's what I'm saying when I say, like, you said, fuck it, I gotta be on my own, because I'm like that too. Like, through my whole life, I actually was like pretty fucking mean. Not mean, but like just very cold and off, you know? Right. And Vegas changed me a lot, so I owe a lot to the West Coast. But
okay. Shout out to the West Coast.
Yeah, shout out to the West Coast, you know?
2 people from the East Coast filming a podcast in the West Coast. Y'all doing something right, that's for sure.
Yeah, so I overgive to the people I love, and then I've always been fucked over by a lot of those people. Yeah. And, you know, as I get older, I'm like, damn, I'm 33. Like, is this ever am I going to be a better judge of character? Because, you know, I always pride myself on being able to sniff bullshit out, being able to know, because, you know, through my whole life I've had to learn that.
You could try as much as you want.
Yeah, and, you still can't do it.
You know what I mean? The rug will get pulled up from under you real quick. So,
gotta create boundaries.
For sure. But, you know, again, like, that never crossed my mind where I was like, I know what to do, because I really didn't know what to do. I was like, damn, you know, I've been working on this for the last 9.5 years of my life, and it's like all of a sudden, you know, I'm gonna shift, and then there was no backup plan.
Right.
You know, this was my life. You know, when they say don't put all your eggs in one basket, that's what I did. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I had no intent to leave the company or to you know, sabotage anything that was going on, you know, because I was loyal to it and it changed my life. But however, just the shift in energy, you know, I was able to be like, okay, this is where it's going. Before it gets worse, let me just take a few steps back and see, you know, what I could do. I
mean, you used your brain, you know, because you could have not taken a few steps back and been even worse off. But
yeah.
So let's get into the perfect distro.
Yeah, most definitely.
So basically, it's you can distribute your content, all different types of content. You could get paid off this content and also claim publishing for it.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
So tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, so Perfect Distro came about once I took those steps back, you know, but not like, it didn't come to fruition. Why? Because, you know, how loyal I was, you know, I signed paperwork saying like, hey, you know, I won't compete with the company or anything like that, you know. Because obviously, like, you know, we were pretty powerful now. And so I had to wait about 2 years for that stuff to dissolve, for that paperwork to dissolve. And then after that, a good friend of mine named Louis, he was working with a company called Video. And he just reached out to me and was like, yo, John, like, what are you doing? You know, how you been? What are you working on? And I said, man, I got an app that I'm working on. It's to find studios. And he was like, oh, okay, that sounds amazing. But man, would you want to get back into music? And I was like, well, what are you proposing? And he said, man, we could do a partnership. And, you know, we can give you your own distribution platform. And I said, damn, really? Well, let me think about it. Perfect Distro, we're focused on content in general. So Perfect Distro realistically doesn't have any like phrase or anything that comes after it. But I always like to say the perfect place to distribute your content.
Okay.
You know, because that's really what it's about. You know, it's
So can you tell me a little bit how the platform works for the creator?
Yeah, most definitely. So it's as simple as creating an account, having what music you want to release, the audio files, the covers. You know, obviously, if there's no profanity, you know, everything has to meet a certain criteria of cleanliness for Apple and Spotify and all the different platforms. So yeah, as long as you have you know, your files and everything ready for your release, you can go on at any time. You can have full access to this around the clock, 24 hours, 7 days a week, and you can just upload and distribute your content. And we distribute to about 57 or 58 platforms in total, which are all digital service platforms. So they pay you. So they pay for your streams. So this isn't a free mixtape platform or nothing like that no more.
I like it.
You know, yeah, now we could bring you some money. And then, you know, we do have another part of the company where we go and explore your channels and we see which channels you're properly monetizing and which you're missing your money on. And so you'd be very surprised how much money is just lingering in the air out there. multi-millions of dollars. And so our system helps those artists find and collect that money. So it's pretty cool. Every artist that I've spoken to about it has been very supportive of it. We've already reached about 62 artists that we're working with. So, things are looking pretty good.
Do you have any that you want to like shout out? I know it's hard, but...
Yeah, no, definitely Cowboy.
Okay, is this the painter?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was wondering what was going on with him. So he's painting and an artist?
Yeah. So, a lot of people still haven't really, like, we're just introducing it, right? Like, if you go look at his socials now and you look at his YouTube and stuff like that, we're starting to introduce it,
I mean, it looked dope. That's why I was like, oh, shit.
I appreciate it. So this is definitely an amazing project that I want to highlight that Perfect Distro is working on. It's a TV series called Painting with Cal, where we've kind of flown all around the United States and met with different artists that do street art, that they may do like a denim outfit, or they may be like a shoe artist or something like that, and we're just collaborating on different art pieces. And so it's pretty epic because we've already built out the website, where once these pieces are completed, you do have the option to buy it, and then there's a bunch of other things that we're gonna work on, like lighter covers with that painting that you like, and jackets, pants, shoes, socks, everything. This is pretty dope. But that'll be coming out on his YouTube channel very soon. So, and then we can have him here on the podcast. So
yeah, I want to paint with him.
You guys can get in there. Hey.
So I did my first paint and puff.
Okay.
Like last year, and I realized how like soothing it is to paint.
Yeah.
And smoke at the same time, and you're just chilling, and it's kind of like, it's nice.
Nah, it is. My
moon looked like a pizza, but it still was good.
We spent a lot of time working on these episodes, and some of the pieces in there. One in particular that I really enjoyed was a homie of mine named Sean Flores. He's actually from LA, and him and Cal, they did a canvas that was a Donald Duck with a Joker mix. It was so badass to see it literally go from nothing to something.
Where'd they put it on?
They put it on a white canvas, like just but a nice size canvas. It's pretty big. It takes up a nice piece of the wall.
Yeah, I don't know where I put my lips.
So definitely, even just watching it, it felt therapeutic. Like, they're just in the zone. They're creating, and it's just flowing. It's coming. To Sean, that style of painting comes so naturally because that's what he does. But for Cal, it was a little bit different. So it made the show very interesting, because not only can you learn from what they're doing, but it's also good to see Cal in a different element, especially for all of his fans. The kid's pretty famous.
Nice. Shout out to Cal.
Hell yeah, shout out to Cal.
So wait, is that what you said you were filming for? Is that a
Yeah. So we were filming.
You were talking about earlier.
Which part?
You said you were talking about a TV show that you were filming earlier.
Yeah, so that's the TV show. Yep. So as we were filming, I'm just sitting there in the background, just making sure we're capturing what we need, So, yeah, I got to sit there and watch the whole thing. It gets a little like, damn. You're
leaning over there.
Sorry. Too good.
You know what? Hey, Abaze, I think it's the couch. That's that couch. That's that couch that you go to your mom's house or your grandma's house and you sit on, and then you wake up 8 hours later.
I said I ain't gonna sleep.
Okay, so I want to talk about tech because I know you're in tech and like you do website development and all this stuff. So
right.
It's funny. I like just how life works because now I've been building like my own website with like my drop shipping store on Shopify.
Okay.
And now my, Faded Truths on Wix. And so I do all my back end things on my website. And it's just like I've been doing a lot of SEO this year and a lot of things to just expand. And I just love that I met you because you're fucking an expert in it. So I just want to talk a little bit about like what you think as far as the AI that's happening in tech. Shout out to chat.
I see you're definitely for it. That's for sure.
Well, I'm just like, you know what? Because I'm not really technology. Everything, like all this was new learning for me.
Right.
And so this is like next level. But I'm like, if I have to run with it, you got to go with it because now it's the world's doing it.
Did you like self-teach all this to yourself? Are you self-taught?
Well, so I pretty much learned through like share screen. Shout out to Hip Hop News Uncensored on YouTube because that's my friend. So they were the ones that told me like start a YouTube. You need to get out there because I'm like I want to be on the radio, and they're like you got to show your face. I'm like I don't want to. I just want to be on the radio. I don't want to be on social media. They're like you got to, you know. So that kicked it off, and then so like I learned like to set up some shit through like FaceTime from Jersey to Vegas. Like my friend in California shared screen. I learned Final Cut. And then, so I edit all my own shit. You know, so it's like crazy because before I didn't know shit. And people don't understand the struggle of just like even coming to sit here. I'm like, thank God I can just take a seat, relax, you know. One day someone will be setting up all this shit. Okay.
Yeah, no, for sure. Hopefully by the next one.
Sorry, you know? But yeah. So I just want to talk about what you think because, like, you know, you're in the tech space.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in this space for a little while now, and I'm all for change because I feel like that's what technology is. You know, it's innovating. It's thinking of the simple idea that everyone thinks of but never actually brings it to life. And so once you have it like established, you know, it's life-changing. It really is. And the transition from house phones to cell phones was a huge change of life for me because when I was 20 I opened up a cell phone repair store. So you know what I mean, like that's like an introduction to me already like learning technology and doing all that stuff. So then when it came time to like really understand apps and understand Final Cut and Photoshop and AI and, you know, how to build a distribution platform or how to build a website that you can generate $90,000 to $100,000 in a day or a matter of a few days, weeks, months, you know. And so I'm definitely all for change. And so I think with the chat AI, do you want to wait?
No, you're good.
Okay. So I think with the chat AI, it'll never be what they're expecting it to be, and I think it's like a facade because I could tell chat right now, hey chat, build me an app that I want it to be called Stugo. I want the color code to be XYZ, and I want it to run on its own completely. Trust me, I do this every day. There's no fucking way in hell that shit is gonna build me an app that's gonna run on its own
completely. It's definitely not gonna take
completely.
those jobs.
It won't.
No, I just like it as a tool.
No. As a tool, it's amazing, and I'm already a user of it.
Okay.
If you go to my social medias, they are all chat-driven captions, you know, and that goes for anything that I post on the internet. If I need a bio for an artist or something like that, I'll go put the key points.
I was thinking that too, because I'd be making the bios from scratch. And I'm like, I can just be asking chat.
Chat. You know, and that's why I say, like, I'm all for change.
I'm putting some effort in, guys.
Yeah, no, hey, shout out to you because, you know what I mean? No, but it's things that you'll learn, you know what I mean? And like you said, like a lot of people don't know the struggle of that process to even learn that and to be sitting here today, you know, independently and, you know,
do you have podcasts on your platform?
You know, I've been contemplating starting them. because we have a very, very amazing studio called House of Hits Miami. So shout out to Vinny. So that studio is on the app as well to book. But their podcast room is on some like 106 in Park production.
I need to go back to the beach, like I said.
Oh, nah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. And
we'll pop the cherry.
I think the users would love to see an episode in there. So maybe we can
a lot of topics.
Maybe we can reunite in Miami and pick up where we leave off. Yeah, for sure.
I need any reason to go to the beach, guys.
But yeah, so I mean, I fuck with chat. I think chat is definitely going to be a tool for a lot of people in this world. But software wise, it's got a lot of catching up to do, or a lot of work to do.
It's never going to be like a human. And that's what I said at the fucking Greek place, Stefano's, because they had this robot there now trying to take my order, and the guy was just standing there like a real person, and I'm like, hey, and he's like, I'm like, no, like, can I just order? I'm like, y'all pay someone to sit at home and be a robot? Oh my God, it's crazy.
I've been to the McDonald's.
I was so shocked. I was like, come on, I am not going in the future. I refuse.
Hey, we ain't got no choice. All right. It's not an option for us, We don't have an option. I went into a McDonald's the other day, and they don't take your order no more. That shit over with.
Why'd you go to a McDonald's?
Why?
Yeah,
it's quick. You know what I mean? Like when you need something to eat, hey.
No, that's not on the list no more. Come on.
mean, I feel it, but you know what I mean? It is what it is. I mean,
that's a sign. Look,
that's a whole nother conversation. That's another rabbit hole we could jump down when the shrooms kick in.
I got you.
Nah. But it's technology is going to continue to innovate whether we like it or not.
So the Stugo app is pretty much like an Airbnb for studios across the country. But I looked at the map. It's pretty much on the coasts, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
East Coast, West Coast. I think we got one in like Detroit.
Okay. So are you adding more?
Oh yeah, all day, every day.
All the time?
Yeah, okay. Every day. We just recently did South by Southwest. We had a showcase out there for some artists and stuff like that. And just, we find different ways to integrate it with music and the relationships that we already have and stuff like that.
We need that in Vegas.
Yeah, most definitely.
When I started the podcast, I had a studio in my house, like my old house before I bought one, and just turning people, And I'm like, because I didn't want to pay for a studio, because I wasn't monetized yet off my own self.
It gets expensive.
But then I decided, like, I don't want people in my energy, in my space. But so I always go and like kind of collaborate with a place, right? So that it's kind of a cross promotion.
Yeah. Smart.
But it would be nice to be able to just pick it up and be like, oh, I can go pay $50, get this badass studio, and like tell so and so to meet me here for an hour.
Yeah. And the platform actually has a lot of dope features in it. One that you just mentioned right now, where you're like, I can tell my friend, yo, meet me here. So that's a share feature that we have in the app where you can share it and say, hey, Angela invited you to this studio session tonight at this location. Pull up. You know what I mean? So, yeah, again, just different features that it has that are pretty amazing.
I just feel like it's so crazy. So, like, you designed the app, yeah?
So I pay designers. Like, okay. I'm not gonna sit here and take any credit from anyone on my team.
Right? Because like making an app is a little deep, right?
Yeah, no, very, very.
And
deep.
That would be something that I would love to do. That would be cool as shit.
Yeah.
But
I can show you how it looks. Yeah, I can show you how it looks. It's it's like a blueprint. Definitely a blueprint. I'm gonna say like a blueprint.
I downloaded it.
Okay.
Okay, so I want to talk about also the Latin industry. What were you doing down here for? Were you here for a show as well?
Yeah, so we were actually here for, it's kind of like a quarterly convention that's done here in Vegas with a company called Promotores Unidos. And a friend of mine, he has a company named Arma Promotions. And they also have an app as well called Arma Radio. And their focus is promoting the Mexican bands and the artists that do like corridos and stuff like that in the Mexican culture. And so they have this really huge convention every month here. I mean, every quarter here in Vegas. And it's been a very crazy experience. Oh, it's been amazing. You know, again, it goes back to the love for music. You know, now that I've been in it for, I would say, like, you know, they say you have 2 lives, your first life, your second life, you know. My majority of my whole second life has been in the...
I never heard of that.
In the music industry. No, you never heard of that? Mm-mm. Yeah, definitely. And I look at it as like you're a kid. When do you think you got
into your second life?
You're a kid, you're young, you don't know nothing.
And then when you cross into
once you cross into like,
mine was 30.
This is how it works. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah.
At 30, I was like, I gotta get it together.
Yeah, you feel me? Hey, some cross sooner than later. No, but yeah, so it's been amazing. Like just seeing like all the people out there that they're just here in Vegas to shift their culture forward. You know, to see so many people come together in this industry is like, wow, this is very powerful. And they're not normal musicians. These are people that still play instruments. Yes. With 20 people behind them, one guy singing, no auto-tune, no, you know, there's none of that. And so
that's dope.
It's amazing. And they're doing it right now. Like if we went to the lobby at the Westgate right now, there's people in there playing live in every part of the hotel, all bands. And then they have a real huge they have a real huge showcase, beautiful stage, everything amazing inside of a hotel.
Nice.
So it's been an experience, that's for sure. But yeah, that's kind of becoming our perfect distro Latino handle for, you know, a lot of the Spanish culture, because the entire first part of my career has been working in hip hop. I never
so I was going to say it's like a kind of different genre now.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of Perfect Distro is that, you know, we can distribute any genre. It doesn't matter.
And you were at a country concert, I saw too.
No, that was a Mexican concert.
Was it?
That was it was a Mexican concert, but it looks like a country because they're all dressed with the boots and.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I saw it and it was like we do any genre, so I thought it was country. Cause I thought it was like.
Well, we do any genre. We haven't distributed for a country singer just yet.
I just love like island music and Latino music now that I've just been traveling, you know.
Yeah. I got a playlist for you.
So yeah, do I Duolingo every morning?
Yeah.
Okay, so. You remember your first time ever getting faded?
Like drunk or just like fucked up?
Drunk or high? What was your experience?
You know, that experience actually changed my life in the way I perceive alcohol, to be honest with you. I'm like very honest. So I got really, really tore up. It was at my girl's house. We were young and I was drinking literally fucking pure vodka shots that were like huge because I thought it was cool, you know, until I woke up the next day and I really, really could not remember what happened. And I was just vomiting all day and I had the worst pain in my head ever. And my sister-in-law had to take me a shower. It was wild. And I didn't even know what happened. Like, my friends almost got into a fight. All types of shit went on. I think I was like 19, something like that. Like 19.
Okay.
It was wild. Wild.
How long did you not drink after that?
Oof, I didn't get drunk after that for a while.
That's one of those ones where you're like, I'm really never.
No, I'm really never. I would never ever, never in my life get to that point ever again. Yeah, because that shit is, you know, it's crazy. Like how much things could have gone wrong and you really didn't know.
So when you say it changed your view on alcohol, what do you mean?
like that shit is deadly. That shit is deadly. Because I no matter how much I wanted to remember that night, I couldn't. And still to this day I can't. Like, you know, in some cases you'll get flashbacks and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But that shit was a
total blackout.
A blur. A blackout.
Yeah. I've only had a couple of those.
I had a couple.
I only had a couple when I was younger. Yeah. Like when I'm like, I don't remember shit, but
I'll be one and done.
That's why it's like crazy that there's alcohol and liquor on every corner, but then, you know, everything with weed and cannabis, and it's not even legal. That's the thing. I thought you guys were rec in Florida, but you're not even recreational.
No. It's all medicinal. That's crazy to me. Yeah, it's all medicinal. Like Florida is very slow. Like, and very political. So to get in and do anything is gonna be fucking.
Did you see gators growing up?
Oh, all the time.
I want to see them.
That shit's normal. Like I just took my son to a fucking an alligator farm where it's like all the fucking alligators you could think of in all different sizes, shapes.
What do they do?
Just fucking sit there. They don't do shit. Like they do have a show where, you know, they bring the bigger alligators out and you know they kind of like mess with them and shit like that, but nothing bad. They don't torture them or nothing, but who the fuck wants to be locked in a cage all day?
Right.
These guys are supposed to be in the wild eating fucking birds and shit, you know? Nah, it's sad, but either way, like, yeah, it's a lot of gators.
And I saw the manatees too. The manatees were like...
Yeah. You'll see the manatees at just about any dock, wherever you could dock a boat. Manatees like to be in those areas. Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. Florida Education 101.
Yeah. I gotta have a house in every, you know, I gotta do one in Florida next, and then Jersey. I'll be like, yeah, on the beach, so I could just be bi-coastal.
Yeah, if you got the time and money to put into that shit, hell yeah, go for it. You know,
we gotta build.
I love to travel. I love to be. I go to Malibu a lot. You know, Malibu's a place where I feel like.
Really, I never been there.
Nah, yeah.
I went to I did a little trip to LA, and it was like just LA, Venice Beach, Santa Monica, Hollywood.
Yeah.
You know, LA, just like
Long
hopping
Beach
around
and shit like that. Yeah. And I was the touristy shit. I did all that shit.
I did it in like 24 hours because I was there for like Jay Leno's game show.
Yeah. That's funny. Were you on it?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah, it's funny. I was on the Bill Cunningham show when I was really young.
I kind of remember that name.
It's one of those like Maori shows.
What were you on there for?
A friend of mine was trying to be an actor, and so he would be on those casting calls, and so they casted him for that TV show, and I think I was like 19 years old when we did this shit. And they called them. We talked to the producer individually, like a little private call they had to have with us, I guess, to check if the story was organic, you know. And so they got us plane tickets. We went to New York, picked us up in a limo, drove us to the show. Shit was crazy.
Nice.
Yeah, shit was so crazy. And then they even bought me like a new shirt and everything. It was crazy. They gave us a per diem, like where you could go eat and shit like that. I was like, man, this is pretty cool.
This is a life.
Yeah, like this is how the movie stars live. Cause sign me up, we here. Nah, but and you know, coming from where we're from, like shit, it's a small town, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, you never expect to do no shit like that, but we definitely did. That was my first time in New York too.
How'd you like it?
New York. It was crazy. I just saw Men in Black everywhere. Like I was like, where's the ship at? Take me to the ship.
Did you think people were cool?
I honestly didn't even give a fuck. You know?
Like, did you interact with any locals or no?
Not really. Okay. I'm like.
You literally look like you can live in New York.
You protect your energy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you say, you put your studio at home because you don't want to be around nobody, nothing like that. That's how I am. You know? Yeah.
Well, you fit right in. You look like you belong right in New York.
Nah, I don't fuck with New York though.
Damn.
I'm too tropical. Too tropical.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I never went to New York because I lived on the I live by the beach, in Jersey, like Atlantic City area.
Okay.
So there was no reason for me to leave and like drive and go up there. Even like Philly, I worked there like once, and I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna stay in my AC bubble, you know. So
for sure.
That's why I said if I stayed, I would have just kept bartending.
My AC bubble, that's funny.
Yeah, because it's like you don't leave. You're just got casinos, you got the beach, you got we're all degenerates,
That's true.
But we get shit done. And then I came to Vegas, and people don't get shit done on the West Coast. They just let it overpower them, So
wow,
it's been hard to like find like hustlers on the same kind of
wavelength, same drive, right?
But it's allowed me to like calm down a lot, which is good because I have to be more patient in business in order to get further, right?
Oh, 100%.
So I would have still been fucking not even just being a nutcase.
I forgot what percentage this guy had mentioned. It was a pretty high percentage, but a lot of people they can't pursue entrepreneurship because of that right there. They lose the patience, and it's like, fuck it, I'm gonna just go get a job. You know what I mean? Or something like that. I'm gonna go do something that I'm gonna make quick money. Because this is not, entrepreneurship is not from one day to the next. It's not from 1 year to the next. You know what I mean? Like it may not be from 10 years to the next, That's why
I'm trying to build passive income, so I can take like my money I make and just put it into my businesses, right? And funnel it through. And so like that's why I'm like
smart.
Right. That's why I'm like, okay, well, I'm blessed to like, I've been doing pyramids my whole life as far as coming from nothing to like building, So I'm just trying to get smarter, and I just keep meeting great people. So I've been working on everything, and it's been a lot.
Yeah.
But
your network is definitely your network. That's for sure.
So for any like young kids, there's a lot of like 16, 17-year-olds always trying to get into music, hip hop, things like that. Like, do you have any advice for like young creatives? Like, should they be doing the same thing as far as trying to get their shit out on all these platforms, getting paid for their content, or is there a different route? Like,
yeah, I mean, definitely push it out, get paid for your content. That's the goal, you know. But like, just educate yourself. From that age, you're very young. You probably have obviously people that influence you around you, so you're going to be learning from somebody. But don't ever hesitate to go learn something on your own. If it's YouTube that you want to make the platform where all of your fans go, and that's going to be, where you dedicate your time, and, go educate yourself on the platform. Go learn that platform like the back of your hand. Because once you start to do that, then you'll start to realize, okay, damn, in just YouTube alone, you got about 8 different ways that you could generate revenue from that one platform. So shout out to Rachie, Brittany, everyone over at YouTube, because they've kept me in the loop on all the stuff that YouTube does for artists. And so they're one of the biggest platforms that give you so many ways to make money. So at that young age, or even at an older age, it doesn't matter what age you start. YouTube is a channel. And back in the day, when we were younger, we watched TVs and we would flip through the channels. And so your YouTube is just a channel where you can capture your own audience of 100 million people, 200 million people, 300 million people. You just got to give them the content they want, just like the TV does. And so that goes for just about every platform today, right? Some people have a stronger influence on TikTok than they do on Instagram,
My issue is just that, like, I do a lot of cannabis. And no one likes to monetize cannabis,
They don't.
So it's just like that barrier. That's been a barrier my whole show, because like that's what I started. I started it talking about like a lot of sex and like raunchy shit with my girls.
Okay.
And then it started like me interviewing people, and then I started doing people in cannabis, and then I realized like I was a hot pothead my whole life, so I was like, oh my god, now I can like learn like the fucking healing effects of it, and like really get into it and like nerd shit. And but it's always like YouTube, you know, they restrict my ad because I'm talking about cannabis or whatever. So it's like on every platform. TikTok hates it.
Oh yeah,
they talk about it, but like they can talk about it, but I can't smoke in
I'll
there.
tell you this: just like every industry, there's a political side to the business, right? Just think about how many podcasts out there that people are smoking weed on and drinking on. And those podcasts are getting bought out for hundreds of $millions.
Shout out to Tyson.
You know what you say?
I said shout out to Tyson.
Oh, okay. You feel me? So, you know, there's people that are generating hundreds of millions, you know. Even if you're within $10 million on a podcast, like, cool, that's good money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, I think that you just got to keep going, you know. The platforms are always going to, I mean, the way I look at the platforms is it's their world, we're just living in it. They're going to kick us out whenever they feel like it.
Right.
Or you posted the wrong shit, kicked out.
Yeah.
Or you know.
That's why I made my own website, because I was like, at least if Facebook and Instagram shuts down again for a day, you can still go and watch my content.
you have a platform
over here. So
right. And much respect to you for even being able to build a website, you know. When you said Wix, I was like, hey, because, you know what I mean? I've built a lot of websites on Wix myself, and people would be like, oh, that's not a real website, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, did you go look at that shit?
I mean,
it looks real to me. Did you go
I
see
feel
how
like
much
they're
money
just
we
like
made?
late on everything. But
Yeah.
I appreciate you being here and fucking hanging out. Can you get a little video for me?
I appreciate you
dropping wine,
having me here and allowing us to spread the message of everything we're doing.
Yeah, just maybe like a little like walk around or something.
Got my nigga Javi working in here.
So
she got the boss working.
He took
right
a nap.
I
didn't have a
ready.
BTS person. So 2023, what you got coming up? What's the next big project? Just working on the apps, trying to get everything out there, or?
Yeah. So 2023 is looking like you know, a lot of advertising, a lot of events. We just came out here to Vegas to do this one. We did South by a little earlier this year. We went out to you know, the Future tour, the One Big Party tour, and then what's to come. April 22nd, we have an event in Atlanta called the Plug and Play. Shout out to Esco and Brian. They allowed us to partner with them on this event, which is a Latino industry event where all the executives from bachata to merengue to reggaeton. Yeah, most definitely.
You can dance all
it? For sure.
Okay.
I ain't not salsa. I can't dance salsa. But yeah, so we got that event coming up, and then, you know, shout out to Javi and Arma Promotions. We got some other events coming, and really, really close, all Mexican.
I need to come to an event, so I need to come to an event. I'm gonna brush up on my Spanish.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, hanging around these guys, you're gonna learn some Spanish. That's for sure. But yeah, I definitely appreciate you having me on the podcast, and you know, I can't wait to see.
Thank you so much. I feel like everyone's like, you know, I feel like it's great information for everybody because, like you said, it's opportunity for a lot of different content creators. So.
Yeah, and even studio owners, you know.
Yeah.
Airbnb, and you know, I hate to even use their name because I don't like name dropping nothing ever. But
same concept.
They were at this point once in their career, right? Where
everyone had a starting point.
Yeah, you know. So where Stugo is today, it's, you know, it's in a very good space. We have a lot of studios on there, and you know, we continue every day to grow and create other entrepreneurs, right? Like this studio, they never booked it out. Like they never booked it to people, and so now they will. You know, they're gonna list it on there, and now they can capture everyone here within this geolocation. And we do things like partner with this studio, do some advertising here in this area for them to get them some bookings and stuff like that. So, you know, it's not like we're just, hey, put your stuff on our app and then that's it. No, we want to bring you business.
Right.
And we don't charge the studio owners.
And I think it's
all the money comes from the user.
You said you were doing the other things for 9.5 years almost, right?
Yeah,
before
yeah.
it ended. So it's just crazy how the journey goes, right? Of like people that think this is going to be an overnight success, or people that see people successful and they're like, oh, he's lucky, or whatever the fuck. Like, no, we're working for this shit. Everyone, you know, everyone that's successful usually has a fucked up story, and that's the type of person it takes to make shit happen. You know,
most definitely.
I can just say, like, I definitely have learned to give myself grace and just trust the process. I'm learning that more because as you go on and like you said, you know, you kind of try to protect your energy. It's very draining.
It is
to do this all the time. You know, so I do take breaks, and so now I'm back and I feel good.
And we on episode 4. Hey, cheers to episode 4.
To season 4.
Keep going for sure. Season 4. Sorry, season. Hey,
thank you, John Nichols. Do you have a nickname?
Johnny. Everybody calls me Johnny.
Just Johnny.
Yeah,
okay.
John. I mean,
shout out to Zero Time Off, and shout out to DJ Amaze for the studio time. And shout out to John. Shout out to Perfect Distro. Shout out to the Stugo app. And anyone else you need to shout out?
I think we're good. I think we got it covered. Yeah. Shout out to my family for holding me down. My girl, my son.
Salud.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, until next time. Peace.
40 floors up, we in the sky. Looking at the views, feeling high. This is shit that make me feel alive. No cares, no sense of time. Just about an hour goes past. Problems disappear with every laugh. Residue at bottom of the glass. Time stop with you asking, feel it yet? 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 Hey, hey, can you feel it yet? Feel it yet? Feel it yet? Feel it yet?